Hey, what's up, good people? This is FiredUp KC. This is the show that brings the best, the most inspirational, motivational people in the house. And today, we got a full house here today. I got Britney Burrell all the way from Atlanta. She's an entrepreneur. Man, she's inspirational, motivational. She's gonna share her story in a bit. She's making a bank. And I got my girl Melba here, all the way from Kansas City. She's New York City. She's from New York City. And actually a UMKC alumni, and she's coming back to support the movement. And also she's a model, a part-time model, and also a motivational speaker on her page.
Oh snap! Thank you.
And I got Regan over here. Regan is also a UMKC alumni, and also she is a lawyer, an attorney.
Ooh, I need you.
Yeah, it's a packed house. So today we're about to get it right. We're about to get it right. Okay. Real quick, let's So, tell them where you at. Let them know, Brittany. Who is Brittany? What is your story so far? Let the people know where you at.
Okay. What's up, y'all? So, my first and last name is Britney Burrell. I go by B Burrell.
Okay.
I just flew in from Atlanta. I just landed here at 3:00 today.
Hey.
So it's pretty cool. Good flight. I was hungry. But just a little bit about myself. I grew up in Atlanta, well, on the suburbs of Mableton, Georgia.
Okay.
Of course, typical go to high school. I did not go to college.
Okay.
I went to more of a certification program to be a surgical technician.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I did it for about 8 years. Music is my passion, so I sing, I rap, I play
Yeah,
drums.
your Instagram literally
Yeah, my
says
Instagram is
deep
Burrell music, so I got some little tattoo, And so music is my love, it's my passion, it's definitely a gift. And then so, just, being in the adulting world, you're just trying to find ways to really create that freedom that you think you should have as an adult. And so I came across a phenomenal skill set called trading, day trading. And typically it's investment management and you go to college for 4 years and stuff like that. Well, I could never afford it.
Yeah.
So I partnered with a phenomenal platform called I Am Master Academy and learned to basically trade and multiply my income and master the skill within about 6 months. And so we're 2 years in now, retired from corporate April 6th of 2018.
Wow.
And so I just travel all over the place, man, just helping people to create financial freedom, time, money, and freedom, because at the end of the day, like my shirt says, the name of our movement is generational wealth.
Yeah.
And so, just want people to live their best life. So what is it that you want to do every single day? What is something that you want to wake up and you're just excited about? And most people deal with capital. If people don't have capital to do what it is that they want to do. So I just go around teaching a whole bunch of people. From my youngest student is 13, my oldest is 80.
Yeah.
So if you fall in between and you want to learn how to multiply your money, so that's where we're at. So it went from, working in the medical field, being in the office all day, surgical tech, and and then turn around. I'm still looking now, like, how in the world am I doing this? Like, how did I get here? Because, teaching groups of people, 100 people at a time, 150 people at a time, and I mean, it's just a passion, man. So, we're traveling and we're just changing lives, and the mission is impacting 100.
Exactly, yes.
That's where we're at, man. So that's me.
That's inspiring. It's actually the way I heard about you was through Aaron. Aaron was here last week. Last 2 weeks. He was here, and we had a phenomenal show. He's motivational, and I was like, he says his mentor is coming through, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring her on and let people know, it's amazing. We're about to get this show started.
Let's rock.
We got Mel in the house.
Mel in the building.
Let people know where you at. Let the people know, because you are your page is motivational. If you've seen her page, it's inspiring. And I'm like, how does she get that motivation? So let people know, what's your story?
Let's go, man.
What's your story?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
About to rap a little something.
Yeah,
okay,
drop the beat.
Okay, so I'm Melba. People don't really know that because I go by Mel, because I'm working, kind of keep it a little exclusive.
Exactly.
But I'm from New York, actually, but I was raised there and raised here, so a lot of people don't think I'm from there anymore because I don't have an accent. I say yo every now and then, though, and, whatever.
I don't
my
get
Tim's on or whatever,
I
like
don't
that.
have
My Tim's on, like that. But I actually am an alumni at UMKC.
Okay.
I graduated in December 2018, so
Wow.
still recent.
All right, you're so fresh.
Like
You're so
that.
fresh.
Congratulations.
Okay.
We'll be going back soon. Did you want to know what I graduated? Does that matter?
Yeah,
not
I mean,
really,
you can
right?
tell
You
it.
just-
You
I
can
mean,
let them
it's
know.
theirs.
You can let them know.
Bachelor's of Health Science and a minor in Public Health, and then I'm going back for my nursing degree soon.
Okay.
So
Congratulations.
that's that. Thank you.
Wow, let's go.
And I know you want to know how I got to what I'm doing.
Yes.
So, sorry, I'm really nervous, you guys. Okay, so basically, I started the motivational thing and the working out and being healthy about for myself 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it took a year to really get my mind right, because obviously your mind and body all kind of
Right.
connected. So I wasn't ready physically to do it,
Exactly.
but mentally, because leaving an abusive relationship and getting inside of that,
Yeah.
I had to kind of figure out what was I doing. So
Yeah.
I started doing it because once I didn't have social media actually for 5 years. I've
Wow.
just been on social media for a year actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got back into it finally because I was allowed to, if you want to put it that way,
Gotcha.
coming out of what I was in.
Yeah.
And I realized so many people need what Instagram is not. It's not just for the likes. Like I
It's
was
never
telling you,
for that.
it's
Yeah.
not for the pictures and the booties and all that. It's nice to look at, possibly whatever, but
Right.
it's really because people really look for therapy.
That's
Yeah,
so
that's good.
people really need to hear something where there's
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
good.
you can do it. Even if I'm not saying it to you,
Yeah,
you can
that's
see
good.
it and read it to
Yes,
yourself
that's
and repeat
right.
it. Affirmations.
Yes.
So I started doing
I
that
agree.
because I just want to help people.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Wow,
Is that
that's,
good?
that's,
Is that under 5
it.
minutes?
Wow.
That's it.
That's awesome.
That's
Okay.
powerful.
Draw a little closer to her so that way the mic is like in front of you. So that
Oh,
way, yes.
my
yeah.
bad, people.
Beautiful. You good?
Rapid.
All right, Regan, let us know.
Reagan in the building.
Your story is motivational too, because I actually called you on the phone and we talked, and I was like, yo, you gotta come
No,
on the
no,
show
no.
too. So let them know where you at. What is
Well,
your
thank
story?
you. So I went to Mizzou for undergrad. I'm from
Okay.
Lee Summit, which is a suburb of here,
All right.
and I majored in political science,
Right.
which I really, to this day, still love. And so while I was there, I was fortunate enough to do a couple internships.
Yes.
One with Jason Kander, who was Secretary of State at the time.
Exactly.
And I worked there in Jefferson City for 6 months full time,
Wow.
or 3 months, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then that summer for a couple months in Washington, D.C. for
Yeah.
Emanuel Cleaver.
Wow.
And while I was doing all of that, sort of realizing that everyone who was, or most people who were in the positions that I wanted to be in had law degrees.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
Yeah,
let's,
let's do
Gotta
it.
go do it.
yeah, round two on the school.
Oh, man.
But came to UMKC
Yeah.
for law school, which was great, and I got involved in the Child and Family Services Clinic,
Okay.
which is a clinic through the law school that services poverty level income
Wow.
clients who
Wow, okay.
need family services, whether that be for guardian ad litem, which is representation of abused and neglected children,
Yeah.
or paternity cases, which are cases where the paternity for the father is not established
Yes.
after a child's born, and so getting the process of on a birth certificate and having
Exactly.
custody
Wow.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also was able to do one adoption for a step-parent adoption.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so sort of took a different route than I had intended in law school, going more into family law and the domestic side of law rather than the political aspects, which I thought maybe I'd go towards.
Yeah.
And so I graduated in May from law school.
Yay,
Took
congratulations.
the bar, thank you, took the bar in July.
Wow, let's go.
Yo.
In
Thank
the
you.
house, yo. Come on.
Wow.
Took it in July, found out I passed on September 18.
Woo.
And it was
Let's
just
go.
sworn in a couple weeks ago. So.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
You've
Let's
been
go.
working.
Let's go.
I'm hard
Man,
working.
that is that's a
Wow.
lot of work. I couldn't do law. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Oh,
I don't think I
That's
could
not
either.
true.
I mean, anything is possible, but I think I'm too distracted to be able to sit down for like 7 hours reading one
Yeah.
book. It's too distracting. But let's get to the real deal. So today I kind of want us to talk about like the why, because we all make an impact. You're making impact into the financial world. You're making impact in your page. You're making impact in law school, like not law school, in your career, right? So the question is this: what is the why? Why do you think the need for you to actually help people find their financial freedom? Why? What is your why? Why do you think that is
Oh, that's an
important?
amazing question. That's a great question.
That's a thing.
Well, it's so many facts behind that.
Yeah.
50% of marriages fail because they don't have $500 in the household.
True.
A lot of people have horrible lifestyles, and like she said, she's focusing on health and stuff like that. A lot of people can't afford, a better diet.
Yeah.
A lot of people are depressed because they're in a financial strain, or we reach 25 years old, we feel like we're supposed to have everything
Exactly.
down pat, and so people have this paradigm where I'm supposed to be this type of person at this age, and if they haven't reached the expectation, they start feeling sad, they start feeling disappointed and discouraging themselves. And so our main focus is not even just focused on the financial aspect. It's actually tricking people into believing they can be anything that they want to be.
Wow.
So everything is all about mindset. So if
Yeah.
your mind isn't 100%,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what happens. You can, whatever you believe, you can, whatever you conceive, you can believe and achieve. So we always tell people, we focus on the mindset first. It doesn't matter. I can teach you how to take $1 to $100 in your sleep. If your mind isn't A1, it doesn't matter. It's just
Yeah.
going to enhance who you already are.
Yeah.
So we first changed the mindset. So when the financial part comes into play, everything is balanced,
Exactly.
right?
Wow.
But the why behind it is because everybody, I call it economical ministry.
Okay.
Because people not having money is actually a big problem.
Yes.
It's a huge problem. She just said what she's dealing with. A lot of things is because everything is a financial strain on everybody. And so even with getting a job and working 40, 50, 60, 70 years, 87% of people hate their jobs.
Wow.
Most people live in check to check. And so imagine the feelings that come along with that. You're stressed, you're overworked, you're underpaid, you're irritated. And so then that goes into your health, that goes into your mindset, and you're passing down that anger and that irritation down into your bloodline. And so everything is generational curses or debt. And I don't really believe in generational curses. I just believe in, just poor habits.
True.
So everybody has a decision. But the why is, for me, I'm a very spiritual person, and God, I tell God all the time, everything I do is in God's will. So what platform do you need me to maximize to make sure that people get the glory? I mean, that you get the glory, and that people can understand that everything we're doing is to serve a bigger purpose, to make sure people are at peace and people have joy and happiness. And if, using leveraging the financial realm, if that's what we need to do to wake people up, then that's what we need to do. But it's ultimately, I came from the struggle. I've taken, I don't know if my mom is watching right now, but she's a single parent, and I never realized we didn't have anything growing up until I got older, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we ain't really been living our best life, but we have, because she gave us so much love. I've taken cold showers, we didn't have food and stuff like that, and so I can see people's pain and struggle, and I said, well, if I've been in that space, I would love to rise people out of that space. And so if I can teach Zeke, hey, if I can teach you how to bring extra income into your household, just to bring that peace, because how many times are you going to continue to tell your child no? How many times can you not set, how can you build up the skills and the gifts that God is planting inside of them if you never have no money, right? And then it goes into, again, the health, the diet, and the psychology and all that stuff. So I feel like even though money isn't what I consider, it's not important, but it is, because it's up there with air. Like you need it. You know what I'm saying? So, so we just tell people, like, if we can focus on changing your mindset, if we can focus on making an impact internally, then if you're wealthy inside, everything will manifest on the outside.
Wow, I think, you know what I should do on my show? Get a pulpit on my show. Cause
pulpit.
Yeah, you've been preaching. Like, people just be preaching. I'm like, man, that's so good. You know what I mean? And like, I got a joke to make about, like, when you talk about stress, about financial stress. Like, I remember being back in Nigeria when I was a young kid. Like, I didn't know what it was to make money. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like playing all day
just
long.
having fun.
But I came in 2016, and I got older more than I've ever been in my life. I got 10 times older than I was because of, like, stress. You're thinking about paying tuition, thinking about this. And I got, like, a lot of stress. And that's what people go through every single day.
Absolutely.
What if you can have that freedom to earn more and not be able to stress about other things?
Absolutely.
All right. Right next to you, Mel. Tell us, what is the why? What is the why for what you do? Because you're really motivational. Why do you do what you do? You know why I love Mel? It's like she is so free, and like she's just like she embodies what she does, right?
Yeah.
So let's go. What is your why? Why do you do what you do?
Okay. Can you still hear me? Because you said I was.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you.
Okay. So sitting here just listening to her and like very inspired, by the way. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was
it starts with what she kind of just said about internally, right?
Yes.
So it's like you can teach somebody how to do these workouts. You can be like, hey, let me go to this Instagram post and do these workouts. But mentally, if you think about it, people really don't like themselves. People really hate themselves.
Wow.
They look in the mirror and they're like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna get surgery, or no, but I don't love myself, or I need to show all this skin to love myself, or whatever the case is. Yeah. And it's like, why do we have to feel like that because of social media? Because there's IG models. I'm not. Please note whoever. I am not an IG model. I am not famous. People keep thinking that I'm not at all. Any of these things.
I thought you were famous.
I would stop. It started because I was in a place of the eating disorder, and then the overweight and not feeling good about myself, and I never thought I could do modeling. I never even thought I could be on a runway because one of my height, yes, I am 4'9", in case you guys didn't know. And then it's like, and then I was not, my body type wasn't the lean thing. But then it also became just realizing I didn't even like myself. Like I hated myself. I actually used to, if we're gonna keep it a buck here, I used to hurt myself because I didn't like myself. So it's like, I've really never said that publicly, but now I have.
Somebody needs to hear it, though.
Right, exactly. So it's like, I did all this because the why comes from because where I was, I know there's people like me.
That's right.
Man or woman, to be honest. It really, people don't really get that. Men really also go through this too.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can just, I don't even know if what I'm doing really helps. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know. Only because people tell me, yes, I get it. But I really don't know. I just know that if you need a space, a place to find positivity, it's not just in working out. This is not just about working out and eating healthy. Because it's not like I do not eat healthy. It's all about it. But it's like, seriously, it really comes from you wanting to love yourself and knowing that you can do whatever you want to do.
That's right.
Just like what you were saying, coming from the struggle. Like, I've been there, done that. I ain't saying I'm not rich. Full of love, though, in my household.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, it's really all about loving yourself and being who you are and just knowing that you can do whatever the heck you put your mind to. We have a whole lawyer here. Have a whole you can change your life. And you can do whatever you want to come from whatever you are. And, and you could do whatever you want. It's possible if you just mind.
That's right.
I have this post. I put these posts on my page. It says, like, one of the last one was, speak kindly to yourself, because your body hears everything your mind says.
Wow. That's right.
So it's like, if you keep breaking yourself down mentally, your body's just gonna go with it.
That's right.
And what's your body if we can't do with it?
That's right.
Did I just cuss? Lord have mercy. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be taken out.
Children, I'm sorry. So it's like, if you can't like physically be yourself and physically be healthy and all around, how are you gonna do anything that you want to do?
That's right.
So that's pretty much. Does that answer the why?
Yeah, you pretty much answered it.
Are you sure?
Self-love.
You
Self-love.
definitely did.
Okay.
Regan, tell us a little bit about yourself, because your story, like you coming to UMKC, like your struggles to becoming a lawyer is pretty inspiring. Tell us more about that and also the why of what you do.
Sure. So, first, with the getting into law school.
Exactly.
When I was in my senior year of college studying for the LSAT, which is the law school admission exam, I took a prep class that was very highly recommended and rated, and I was proud of the results that I was getting. I was happy, this is going to get me scholarships. This is going to be great. I'm so smart. I'm the best. And then,
Yay.
And then the score that I got back was not reflective of that at all. And so I was so upset and got sort of in a really stubborn headspace of like, you know what, I'm not even going to go. I'm just not even going to deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't take the exam again, which maybe I should have to get better scholarships or something like that, but I was still fortunate enough that I still got a UMKC, and I had a couple other options as well. But sort of overcoming that headspace that you can really drown yourself into of like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be here.
That's right.
I'm not good enough for this. And I'm fortunate enough to have great family and friends who would bring me up out of that way of thinking.
Yeah.
Then got into UMKC, and things went a lot better after that, basically. But the start was definitely rocky, and that was something that I was not in a good place maybe starting law school.
Yeah.
And then even going through, it's always going to be hard and always going to be a pain, whatever.
Yeah.
But just surrounding yourself with good people who are going to make sure that if you're falling down, you're not doing it alone.
That's right.
And so I'm very, very grateful for that. And that's a huge part of my why as well, is that, I, coming from sort of the political background and getting to deal with a lot of like people who are from different economic statuses, races, cultures, everything, who are having like huge struggles that I have never had to deal with. I'm a very privileged person. I come from a very privileged background, but sort of understanding through service trips, through experiences in college, through the political jobs that I was able to have, I think it's unacceptable to not throw it back, or at least try to help somebody else with in my very privileged position to not look back and say, there's other people that are equally as deserving, but just are starting off on a different foot than I was able to.
And
So
that's a different mindset, because like a lot of people would be like, I don't care if it's they can just deal with it, what I mean? But that's where it's all about. What is your purpose? Why are you here? And people overlook certain things. They say, let me just take an example. You might see a paper outside, and you're just like, you know what? Someone's gonna pick it up. It's not for me. And that's how people look at life. They say someone's gonna do it, but why? What if it was your thing to do and you didn't do it? And Let's talk a little bit about failure, because I think failure is really important.
Absolutely.
Because I believe that most people are afraid of failing because they think failure makes you become a failure, but you can actually decide not to be a failure. And let's talk about what do you think about failure? What are the times you failed, and how do you see failure after going through what you've been through and being where you are today?
Come on.
So it's funny you ask me that, because I have.
Come on.
So GW asked me about failure. I'm saying that to the camera because we have a rule in the chat. I tell the team, we have a group over about 800 people, and we have a rule that I tell the team to wake up every day and say, I am excited that I failed.
Yeah, wow.
We have a rule. You have to say, I'm excited that I failed today. How many times? So we have competitions. Who can fail the most?
Yeah, wow.
Like, can you outfail me today?
Wow.
Because I always tell people the problem is we've been conditioned to believe that failure is negative. Failure is actually the most positive thing you could ever do.
Wow.
Because it's basically what Thomas Edison said. I just found 10,000 ways of why it didn't work. So that's all it is. It's just it didn't work that way. Let's try the next one. Let's try the next way. So we actually encourage failing, and we make sure that we say it in a positive light. Because growing up, when you hear failing, oh, you fail, you suck, you fail, you suck, you get an F, you fail, you get an F, you fail. And so that's all you hear all these years and years and years. And so why so many people don't want to get out of their comfort zones and they don't really want to pursue their dreams and goals, and it's just dust on the shelf because the word failure scares the mess out of them.
Wow.
You know, but it's actually like, put an F on my chest. I'm ready to fail today. You know what I'm saying? And so we fell on purpose. I always tell the team, especially with what I do is more so psychology, is trading psychology and emotional intelligence. And so in personal development. So if you don't find a way to get that, you got to find a way to control your emotions as fast as you can. But at the same time, be intentional about failing. So the faster you get it done, I call it compressing time. So the faster you fail, the faster you get to how it really, really works. So we actually encourage failing.
Wow.
So if you know, I can't really say I don't look at failure as a negative thing. So we fail every single day. I mean, you know, I tell the team, if you put a bag of popcorn in the microwave and you set the temperature too hot, you failed. You know what I'm saying? We just put a light on what failure looks like. We've categorized what failure looks like, right? If you bump the curve, you failed, you know? But what we consider failure is we've categorized what failure looks like, but everything is failure.
Wow.
Right? Everything is failure.
That is beautiful. Like, I've never thought about it that way.
Absolutely.
You know, I always, failure to me is like, it has to be this one big thing. When I fail at that one big thing, I'm a failure, you know? And that's to actually...
That's quitting.
That is quitting. That's quitting. It's, you know, the two words are sometimes merged together.
Yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
even know
Absolutely.
when it's
yeah,
what.
And that's the problem. And that's
people
the
are so
problem.
scared of it. Tom, what do you think about failure? Let's go with you.
Oh, I have many failures. My main failure I can talk about is because I'm still dealing with it today, for being real. So I actually was going to nursing school here. I went for 2 years, and then I actually failed out.
Okay.
The program was something else too, though. Let's be real. But I failed, and actually fear of failing is what's keeping me not going back yet. Wow. I got complacent with the new job because it's paying good. And I'm doing a little good here and there, and I'm like, but you know that your end goal is that you want to go back, that you want to be a nurse. You know that's what you want, right? But you would let your mind psych you out and failure psych you out to make you think like, nah, I could do this. I'm good. Like, I'm making good, decent money. I don't have to go do what I really want to do.
Right.
So fact about her saying that, excuses, right? And we don't play that. Especially not in my sport. We don't play that. So I got to go back. And I'm going to go back.
Go back.
So I'm going to get my nursing degree.
That's it.
But pretty much, failure also comes into what I preach every day, right?
Yeah.
So I always have to walk what I preach, what I talk about, that stuff, right? So actually, I was taking failure in a different way for people when it came to working out and eating right. Because there was this quote that I saw that said, you can start over every day. You could have a new beginning every day. And that is true, you can.
That's 100%
but how
true.
many times are you going to keep starting over and not just keep going? Because we confuse. See what I'm saying? I shot y'all that. Here's the thing. When I saw that quote, I'm just saying, because when I saw that quote, I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like, I was thinking, because I was getting complacent with that.
Yeah.
I didn't work out today, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow. I'll be better next week. I got it next month.
Right.
Why do you have to keep starting over when you could just keep going? Stop quitting. Keep
That's
going.
Wow.
So when you just said that, I'm like, that's exactly why that quote resonated with me, because it's like, don't stop and don't keep thinking like, don't get complacent with the fact that I got tomorrow, because what if you don't have tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Let's take it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, not saying YOLO. I'm not saying YOLO. Please do not go do some crazy stuff today. I'm just saying.
I'm 100. I agree with that 100%.
If you can do it today, why put off what you could do today for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
We're just getting lazy, to be honest. We just gotta change our mindset. It's all in the mind. It's not the body. The body will take whatever your mind tells it to.
That's right.
Oh shoot.
Ooh, I'm preaching.
I told you guys that she gonna come. She gonna bring the fire. I'm on fire right now. I want to go out and run 20 miles. I just want to go out and get like, let's go today.
I'm not gonna lie. Right, we should go. Let's get a mile in real quick.
Regan, hit us real quick. What do you think about failure? What is your thoughts?
Well, I personally have a little bit of the personality that I'm decently stubborn, maybe a tad dramatic.
Me too.
And
Me
so
too.
when things don't go, like even not just with the LSAT, but getting into law school, if I ever got a bad grade or something I felt like I didn't deserve on a, on an exam or something like that, I can very quickly spiral myself into, well, you know what, I'm not even going to do this anymore. I'm not even going to, let me just, I'll go get a master's in political science and just, forget this altogether.
Yeah.
But taking a moment and saying, listen, Regan, we're not doing this.
Stop being hot-headed.
You're fine. Go, have a snack. Go maybe have a quick nap, and then you're going to be fine, and you're going to get through it. And just not letting yourself sort of fester in what you perceive as a big failure to yourself, and having a little bit better of a perspective to, take it back. You're okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then speaking of what did you call it? Compressing your failures?
Compressing your failures.
I really like that because there's sort of like a mantra that my dad told me a long time ago. Hey, Dad. That pressure is a privilege.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so any opportunity that you're put in that's stressing you out or that is making you feel emotional, that's making you worried about something, that's a big deal to you is something that's obviously very important.
Yeah.
So you need to take it
Okay.
seriously. Don't get in your head that you can't do it or that, it's not worth doing because you're not going to do it perfectly or something like that.
Yeah.
Take that as, well, obviously this is important to me, so let me make sure that I do this correctly and I do it the best that I can because it really is a privilege to have this sort of feeling on myself.
Wow. See, I like what you said about pressure as a gift because, to make a new wine, it has to go through pressure.
Diamonds too.
Diamonds too. To make the best of things, they have to go through that pressure. Seeds have to go through pressure to actually become a tree, right?
Right.
And people don't see that process. They always see the glamour, the people who are the celebrities. But when they were doing their work, you were not there.
That's right.
No one paid attention. It takes time and process. Switching up to the next thing. I'm gonna ask this. So there's this mindset of I want you to do what people are doing. I want you to become an engineer or a doctor because people are doing it. But they never get time to ask you, what is your gift and talents? And I think in our generation today, I think it's moving towards people's potentials and not about a job. Because I always tell people, the future of a job is not in the job, it's in the people that work there. But people don't think that way. They think this job is my future, but it's actually who they are. See, Miles Monroe is one of my greatest mentors.
Miles Monroe,
yeah. He's a man. And he said something that really got to me. He says that your future is neither ahead of you or behind you. It's on the inside.
That's right.
Oh.
So you decide any day you want to start.
Right.
So it's that mindset. What do you think about focusing your gifts or doing a job that people say is successful? What is your mindset about being able to focus on your talents and gifts? Do you think it's important or just do whatever other people are doing?
Well, I feel like a lot of times people choose what we call the systematic way of doing things.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with a job because we all have to contribute to the community.
Exactly.
But I think what happens is a lot of times when we graduate school and stuff like that, everything is paradigm. So if you guys ever listened to Bob Proctor, you're always telling everything that you do and you've done it was a trained mentality. Exactly. You were taught that, and so you're just following. Everybody's like robots.
Exactly.
So a lot of people don't realize they're not thinking for themselves. They think they're thinking for themselves, but they're not. I planted that seed. I planted the thoughts for you, so you can operate in what I told you, how I told you to think.
Yeah.
So when people are following, getting degrees and going to college and stuff like that, you have the very few who are really pursuing their passion. Like she says, she's pursuing her passion. She loves what she's doing.
Exactly.
Some people, a lot of times when I'm meeting people, and so what I do is I have to ask you, what is your why? What is your goal? So I can help you reach your goal. Because just because you want to make money doesn't mean anything to me. Exactly. What is it for? So we have to tap into, are you loving what you do? What's your work schedule and stuff like that? And most people say, I'm just doing it because I just what I decided to do. Yeah. So I feel like if we would change the way that we operate as a culture, as a world entirely, where we just really push people. Well, first of all, I'm sorry, the older generation operated off of fear. Yeah. So you either operate off of fear or you operate off faith. Now, I'm a spiritual person. I believe only one exists. It's only faith. So if you operate off of fear, you're never going to reach up to your potential because that's not who you are. Yeah. So you're never in control. Your fear is, your thoughts, your negative fear is not even real, right? If you're laying in your bed and everybody's had a dream, right? Y'all have had a dream, you made some money, you try to bring money out of the dream. Or you're running from somebody real fast, but you're laying in the comfort of your bed and you're sweating and your heart is racing, but you're in the comfort of your home. So your subconscious mind has no idea what's real or fake or not. It's what you've told it. right? So
Facts.
if people would stop just allowing their mind to think fear is a real thing, you have a decision to change it.
Wow.
Right? So, but what we do is you cultivate that fear so much and you start to believe it, right? The mind doesn't know what's real or fake, it's what you tell it.
Yes, yes,
so,
yes.
Whether they have gifts or whether they get a job, it doesn't matter. It first starts with, can you make a decision for yourself to change the way you think and honestly understand, is it you that's thinking, or have you been designed to think that way?
Yeah.
And even if you do have, like she said, you have to be around great people, positive people that empower you. That, like my mom, I love my mom so much. She said, I don't care what y'all want to do. Go after it. Like this season of my life, I just worked I was in the medical field in the office for 8 years. Now I'm traveling, teaching people how to multiply your income on forex market and stock market and futures and indices and stuff like that. And I'm like, what am I doing? You know. But music is my passion, and my Instagram says Be Burrell Music. And so most people would think I'm on stage and I'm doing these things, but that's still a gift. So whether people are choosing to follow a job or whether people are choosing their passion, it doesn't matter, because even your passion is always not your purpose.
Wow, yeah.
My passion is music. That's not my purpose. That's not my assignment.
Wow.
So, but people have to be aware. People need to be aware, more aware, and more. And so we can teach ourselves to be more aware. Then we can actually fully develop the gift or the assignment that we're supposed to do.
Wow.
Because what I think is Miles Monroe might have said this. No, Les Brown said this. He said, the worst thing that we can do is when we all go home and we go home to the grave, and the people that are standing around you were your goals and your dreams, and they said, you never manifested me.
Wow.
And so you take all this stuff to the grave with you because of what? Something that wasn't real.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Something that wasn't real. Fear's an illusion.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
We about to have our own
Fear's an
podcast.
illusion.
Actually, we talking about Les Brown's quote. I think Miles Monroe had a similar, more exciting one. He says this. He says that the most wait, I'm trying to get it right. Guys. I gotta reset my mind. I gotta reset my mind. He said the most profitable place on earth, or the most luxurious place on earth, is not Beverly Hills. It's not the Middle East where there's oil. It's not even somewhere in Africa where there's gold. He says it's in the graveyards. The bare grounds where people with potentials, with gifts, with books, with music died without actualizing their gifts. It's the richest place on earth.
Wow. That's right.
And his question is this: are you gonna rob us and go home with your gifts?
Because
Because you are afraid you were gonna fail.
Wow.
Because that's the thing, the fear of, I don't know how this is gonna work out. But I also say this, I really want to say this, I think this is important. Because most times we think that the vision and the passion we have is our passion and vision. But someone put that in you, whether you believe in God or the universe.
Right.
That was already put in you for you to do that. It was not yours. So
Right.
if you're afraid of doing it, you're thinking, I have to do all of this. No, you don't have to do all of it.
Right.
All I have to do is believe in what he already told you
That's
to
right.
do. And then he will make a
Provide
way
the race.
where there seems to be no way.
That's right.
So with all that being said, just shift that to the left side. Let's get back to what. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way this time. Okay, so I forgot what the question was.
It's about
the tuck was
gifts.
the tuck was.
Is it
That's my guy
important?
named Tuck. Go ahead. She got it.
Oh,
You about to ask something?
no,
You ready now?
she-
You ready now?
It's about a gift
It's
and
about
talents.
gifts.
Being able
Right.
to
Talents
give talents.
versus a job. What should people pursue?
I think, well, obviously we want everyone to be stable, so don't everybody go quit your jobs tomorrow.
Right.
Facts.
But I think always keeping in your mind where you want to be, what you want to do is the most important. I think making sure that you're happy in your headspace, making sure that you're at least pursuing something. Like my true passion, favorite thing in the world is learning. So
Yes.
always
That's good.
looking for, something new to figure out, some new, and it doesn't have to be like some sort of intimidating scholastic, like go to the library type of thing. Like we can, watch a YouTube on how to play the piano. We can look up some tweets from somebody smart. We can do, like, it doesn't have to be such an exclusive, like, go to college type of pursuit of learning.
Yeah.
But as long as that's always on your mind and never becoming complacent in, I'm comfortable with my understanding of the world.
Right.
Because that's, I think, how you can sort of really make yourself plateau as a person, because you can't know everything, but I don't think you can also ever know enough.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That is
So,
true. That is true.
Sort
That
of
is true.
incorporating that into where I'm going or where I'm going to, be with my job or with my understanding of the world, with my passion.
Yes, yes,
Making
yes.
sure that education is always a background motivator in that.
That's right.
I
agree with that.
I actually
Yes.
love that. You know why? Because I believe that if you stop learning, you start dying, and
Absolutely.
you stop earning. Too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and people don't see that. People think, "Oh, I got it all together now." No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah.
You can never have it all together.
Right.
With that being said, next to you,
Can I
now
have it
bring us up on the. What do you think? What do you think about that?
So can we like rephrase the question?
Yeah,
Because
it's about-
I was thinking it 2 different ways. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's the gifts versus your gifts and talents versus just getting a job. What do you think
Right.
we should go for more?
Okay. So, I don't know. I don't want to play devil's advocate or nothing. because okay, I'll say it like this. Because it's very important to go for your passions and your gifts. Why? Because why deprive the world? I don't remember the quote clearly, but I know I said depriving your gift from the world is depriving yourself from all these other great things, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that quote
Yes,
was, but somebody find it.
Yeah.
And so it's like I've always wanted to sing, right? When I was younger, I could sing. I've been in 4 choirs, y'all. I could sing.
Okay.
But then ever since I was little, I was like, I want to be a nurse. I've always said that, and I've never been in a hospital for myself, God forbid. So it's
wow.
but every time I get to a hospital, I'm like, this is where I need to be. But then the crazy thing is, the other day, someone was like, you may end up in the medical field, yes, but it may not be that you will end up just as a nurse. You may even be more. You're just limiting yourself of what you could possibly do, because we limit ourselves to all the great possibilities of what we really
every
could
day,
do,
right?
True.
So I really would say, I don't know where this is gonna go for me as far as the motivational speaking and all that stuff that I do on this side, because technically nobody really knows my real job is that I really don't just host people or do this stuff every day. I actually have a 9 to 5. So I actually am a case manager for Kansas City Care Clinic, where I actually work with people who have HIV. And I'm actually the only person right now in Kansas City who does it, because my program is the retention part. So I actually go out to the community, find those people that are missing, because as you know, there's a really high rise right now in HIV. But it's also so crazy how uneducated people are about HIV.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's actually interesting to me, because when you
about
said when you stop learning, you really stop growing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So even people who I work with that have HIV for the 20 plus years still don't really know completely how it's transmitted, or the fact of, did you know that if you do this that you can get it this way, or whatever, or like if you take your meds, you know that you could become, a lot of people don't know this, if you once they're on their meds and they're undetectable, they can't transmit the virus. So a lot of people don't know that. So technically that's my 9 to 5, right? Now, is it my passion to stay at that job? No, it's not. My passion is to, and from what I know, is to be a nurse, to save lives. And my motto is, I told you this yesterday, to be a light in a dark place. That's my motto. I don't know how I'm going to be it. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I just know that I'm going to be healing somewhere, and I'm going to be doing that. So wherever this takes me is what I would say.
Absolutely.
So I honestly want to say, I always tell people, please don't go for jobs that are going to get you the most income.
Right.
Because you're going to be going miserable to work. And you're going to bring
Right.
that home with you. Nobody wants that.
Right.
We already got failed marriages and all that stuff going on. We don't need that. Go for something that's really going to love you. You may not get the best income, but my job, my goal is to be an impact, to impact the world before I leave the world. That's all I want to do.
Wow.
So I don't care whether
it.
I'm making 6 figures, even though I would like to make 6 figures. or if I get six plus figure people that I impact. Like that's the goal, is to inspire one and to gain more. And I've always heard, when you know something, if you've learned something, you've mastered it, to teach other people, which is what you're doing, which is what you're going to do, and you're doing. So it's like, we're changing the world doing that, that's okay with me. So I say, chase your passion. Please have a job.
Well, can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So you actually kind of separate it, is should they follow their gifts and their talents versus a job, where they're what is a job?
Right.
Their gift and talent may be a job. So
yeah.
we separated that category. It's actually one and the same.
Yeah.
So what's his name? Earl Nightingale says. You know, success is the person who's intentional about becoming the teacher, the person who's intentional about.
Yeah.
So it's not. We've painted job to be something kind of like lame and negative, but it's not. It's like a doctor is serving a purpose, a lawyer is serving a purpose, a musician is serving it's still, I guess we should call it more of a career, because if we've based career more on love and passion behind it. But I always tell people, just eliminate the word passion, eliminate the word purpose. Whatever gives you energy and makes you excited, follow that, and whatever, and then those doors open, like you said, the curiosity will keep opening up those doors until you finally find your assignment. So my assignment was helping people and, you know, holding hands and assisting people in surgery for that amount of time. So now it's this. And I'm telling people now, by the time I turn 40, I'm going to be on a piano playing
For
I'm just
real.
gonna sit there playing keys all day. That's what I want to do as I turn 40.
Wow.
So it's really just following, God's will is whatever it is that will is for your life, and don't separate it. Just follow the energy.
Yeah. Well, I love that. And I think this is really important because I see that people who think the same way, I can mention like 5 names you already know the people, because the people you've been mentioning, I know them too.
Yeah.
And like yesterday I was talking to you, you were reading a book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
And I read that book like maybe 4 times.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
It's
I'm
in my
like,
book bag.
yeah, it's a really good
in my
book.
book bag.
It
I
is
keep it
a
with me all
good
the
book.
time.
Like I read that book and I just like, man, the way they think is like exceptional. You know?
Absolutely.
And it's good to be that in that energy level where you are taking the good information in every day, because you never know. You never know what would actually help you, right?
Right.
So it's being able to keep learning,
Right.
and never stop learning, because
That's
if you
right.
stop learning, you stop growing.
That's
Exactly.
right.
That's what life is all about. So, man, you guys have just
Big today, y'all.
This
We did a
place is
podcast.
fire. This place is on fire. Okay, we're close to the end, but let me do this. I want everyone to say 3 things that people do not know about you that you want people to know. 3 things that no one knows about you, and you want people to know. Who wants to go first?
3 things.
3 things people
that
don't know
You know
about
I
you.
can't go first.
Whoever has 3 things, you can
I got
go
2.
first. You got 3.
You gotta.
you got 3.
Because I'm
I think I can think on the spot.
Okay,
I'll take it. I think
let's
I'll let y'all get some
Let's
time,
go,
'cause
let's
I've
go.
been messing around. So let's see, 3 things. One thing. So nobody really knows this, but I'm actually a founder at UMKC for Sigma Lambda Gamma. Me and 9 other women actually brought the sorority to this school because there was no gap in between the African Americans and the white sororities. No offense, you understand, however you want to categorize it. So we are the one in the between, the biracials, if you want, and Latina based. But so yeah, we brought it here in 2014. So that's that. Another thing, I thought I had 2 other things. Nobody knows that I am Dominican, not Mexican, in case you were wondering.
Oh wow, okay, that's important.
That's important. There's a lot of us out here.
It doesn't have to be something that no one knows. It could be something that you think people don't know a lot about. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something secret. Like I came out last night and I spent like 2 days in the road.
Like take a shot if you spin the bottle.
Hey, y'all.
I play the
Yeah.
drums. I don't know.
I must be like an oversharer because I truly
too.
can't. I'm like, what do people not already have already
Sing, rap, I don't know. Okay, I write. I used to write, and I do watch URL and stuff. I know that matters, but I got some ghetto in me. It's okay. I'm really
How about
good word.
3
I
things
don't
we
know.
don't know about each other?
Okay.
Because I'm like her. I'm an
3
oversharer.
things you don't know about each other. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That's a lot.
I play the drums.
Okay.
Ooh.
I cut 7 inches off of my hair.
Oh wow, that's 7
Let's go.
inches. Wow.
7 inches. What else? And I didn't go to college.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
I like
We knew that because you told us it was
That's
ready.
okay.
Yeah, we knew that.
That was important.
That was important.
My best friend, my grandmother, she passed away October 18th last year.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
And it sucked for 8 months. So I'm just now in a place since probably like June, July, where I feel like myself again. So grieving is a place where it's like it sucks all the emotion out of you, but you find yourself still trying to do the activity until one day you come up for air. And so I can say recently in the past probably 2 or 3 months, I feel like myself again, like on fire. And I've always, it's more like this: looking successful on the outside, but really hurting on the inside. And I've looked like that for 8 months. And so I think people who really, really know me can actually see or hear the difference now.
Yeah.
But people who don't know me, but they kind of just looking at me like, oh, she's still killing it. But I'm really like, But I'm feeling amazing, and God is amazing, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad to
Wow.
meet you.
You got 3 things for us?
I suppose I'm trying to learn Spanish. So
Okay.
anyone
I got
who
you.
knows
I got you.
Spanish, please, pressure me
you.
into practicing. Yeah. I am trying to become a better writer.
Okay.
So that's sort of on my list of things to do is to learn to play the piano, be a better
Hey.
writer, speak Spanish.
Got you.
And those are my, goals for the
On mine.
decent future.
All right.
I crochet.
Hey,
Okay.
go ahead.
You guys need a sweater or something?
Let me
Let me know.
Okay, I got mine. I got it.
Got
Okay,
one more.
I got it.
What you got? What you got?
People don't know this, but I did play sports in high school, all right, y'all?
What?
Stop thinking I didn't. I did do volleyball, softball, and basketball.
Wow.
And track.
What?
Thank you.
Come on.
That's all I had to throw out
Come
there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Where can they find you at on the air in the social media world?
Okay, you guys can find me on Instagram. It's I'll just spell it out. BBURRELL music. B Burrell music.
Okay.
That actually came from me like doing shows and stuff. So it's my first initial last name. But
all right.
B Burrell music on Instagram, and it's B Burrell 2 on Facebook.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mine is Hola Soy Mel _ so HOLASOYMEL _ that's on Instagram, and then Facebook. It's a little more. Facebook's kind of boring, but it's Mel Mejia.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, those are the only 2 things of social media that I have right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. My Instagram is Regan Kathy. That's really just more of a personal page, but you're welcome if you want to come hang out. I have a Twitter that's Regan K. Lourenco that I used to be a lot better about when I was in politics, about updating and having opinions. The current situation and through law school, I got too upset and I stopped updating it. So.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, man, we've come to the end of the show, and man, thank you guys for tuning in today. I just want to say this. My guy EJ Footies, we support EJ Footies. He's doing a great job. I just want to say we support EJ Footies, and hey, thank you guys for tuning in today. And I always ask this: what is your faith in? What is your belief in? Do you even have faith? And what are you pursuing? Do you know your purpose? And if you don't know, you might want to find out. And this is Fired Up KC. We bring the best of the best in the house. And thank you for tuning in today. And bye-bye for now.
Bye. Hey, you guys. I'm Mel, so make sure you keep watching on Fired Up KC.
And I'm Reagan. Make sure you subscribe.